Hello everyone, welcome to Timeless Flux. My name is Sabine and today we're going to have an energy checkup for this next week, okay? So the period goes from July 8th to July 15th, and if you're new to this channel, do not forget to take a look at my videos on monthly predictions for each sign, okay? Because they could be helpful too. But today we're going to work with a bit more of a personalized reading for which you can choose among three options. So I have option number one represented by this pink card here, option number two represented by this green card over here, and option number three represented by this orange card over here. Okay, so just taking a minute for you to choose. And sorry about my cough. I'm not going to edit this video. If you have selected your option, I'm going to move on to the reading of option number one. So what I can see here with this card is that your challenges during this week are going to be related to other people, okay? And they could also be related to whatever facade, whatever mask you wear whenever you have to interact socially, okay? So this could be a more general problem, or it could be something related to your closest friends, to your family, to, any love interest you may have. And with this card over here, I have Moonspawn. Moonspawn represents someone who knows that being a moonspawn, being the child of the moon, they are sacred. So this is talking about the motivations for your actions, okay? It's going to be very important this week for you to consider where your actions are coming from. If they're coming from a sense of true value, of understanding who you are in this world, and understanding your powers, your talents, etc., but it's like the motivations behind each of your actions this week are going to be important, because whenever you do something because it's being imposed by the social group where you're currently expressing yourself, whenever you're just trying to cope and to fit in, then actions are not going to be as productive or to lead to the results you were expecting, okay? So this is the energy for this week. It's all about fine-tuning your intentions and motivations for everything that you do. And now I'm going to shuffle here in order to just have four more cards talking about how this situation is going to manifest specifically in your life. Okay, option one. So I have the King of Wands, the Three of Cups, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the King of Swords. Okay, so mixed energies here. What I see with these cards, I'm going to move them a little for you to see them better, is that you're starting this week with an impetus, a new kind of energy, and with feeling like you have the power to start a new endeavor, or at least to organize your life and your schedule in a sense, and in a way that makes sense to you, okay? And then you are going to meet a lot of people, social situations, interactions that could even be online, considering the moment we're going through right now, that maybe can lead you out of your path, can deviate you from your path. So the kind of situation I'm seeing here is when you are ready to move on, and you are ready, you don't know the details of your endeavors already, but you know that your gut is telling you to go for it, to just try and experiment, and to make any kind of change you want and you need to make in your life, okay? It's a moment after the analysis. You already had a lot of time to analyze whatever change you wanted to implement in your life, and now you're ready to take action. But then you meet these people, okay? So this could be manifesting your life in many different ways, but there are a lot of people watching, but it's something like we have whenever you have an interaction, wherever you have the possibility of interacting with other people, this could get you a little sidetracked, okay? And even sometimes with a feeling that you're actually doing what you were meant to be doing just because you're talking about it. So it's like you start your day thinking about finally organizing your closet, and of course this is only a metaphor, okay, make it fit your situation, but you start your day wanting to finally organize your closet, and you're all in, and okay, this is something that's been taking a long time for you to do, and then you find someone online, and then you have these meetings, and then you have maybe even videos, people who are going to, require your attention at that time. But it feels really good. These people are people that you really like, people that you love in some cases. And then you start talking to them about how wonderful it's all going to be once you finish organizing your closet, once you finish cleaning your kitchen, whatever you need to do, once you finish finally filling in your planner for July or something like that. These are very concrete things, okay? And then because you're talking about your plans with these people, it feels like you're actually already doing them, already implementing whatever you wanted to implement, but this is not true. So at the end of the day, you get a bit suspicious about the energy that you're spending on other people, and maybe even a little bit resentful, okay? Pay attention to that, because in the end, the conclusion for this game, sorry guys about the camera, but the conclusion for this whole process is very interesting. What you're doing when you're going out there and you're exposing yourself to people, you're trying to interact, you're not doing this on purpose. You're doing that because you want to organize your mind and in a way that's fair to everybody. So let's say that you have finally decided to start a new course, to study something different, to give this chance to a new area, a new career, okay? And you're a little bit afraid that once you start that, you're going to actually miss on your social life, okay? So what you're doing is trying to compensate for maybe a loss you have when interacting with these people that's not actually happening yet, okay? It's like you have to understand, okay, I need to take some time whenever I want to change anything practically in my life from other people, time away. It's not about, letting them go, they're negative, anything like that. It's just that you really need to focus right now. And as I see here, it's something, what you're doing right now in terms of changes, it requires a lot of step-by-step implementation, okay? The kind of thing that you could find boring, I don't see you even here finding the steps you need to implement as boring, but more like you finally have this idea on how you're going to go about them, and then people are distracting you. So this is a process in which you are fearing that maybe once you actually implement the change, people are not going to like you, or even better, that you won't have the time to interact with them. You're trying to include people in your moment of change, and it's okay if you don't include them right now or from the start. It's okay if you take this week to just plan your steps carefully and implement however little you can, just to get this energy going and understand that have some kind of proof in the real world that you have already started your change. And then once this phase passes, then you can, get back to your social activities the way you used to be. But you're going to be feeling much stronger in terms of your convictions, because you have actual proof that your change, your projects, or whatever you want to manifest in your life is already happening, okay? So just to make it clear, this process is healthy. That's nothing strange going on. These people are not negative. The only thing is that you really need to learn the lesson of that whenever you implement change in your life, you will probably need some time alone and to plan, and then some time to actually implement the steps with which you do not feel comfortable yet, okay? And it's okay. Your friends are going to be there when you come back. Your interesting people, love interests are going to be that when you come back. It doesn't matter. It's all going to be okay. You just need to remember that you need to take a step back when it comes to celebration, and you really need to understand, and to your social life in general. And you really need to understand that you're trying to, maybe in a controlling way, you are trying to over control how things are going to fit into your life right now. So let's say that you want to experiment with some new artistic form. Of course, you're going to need, if you want to start painting, for example, you need some time by yourself, okay? And you're trying to guarantee by going to people and talking about your plans, by interacting with other people, you're trying to guarantee that you're not going to become this weirdo who doesn't have any friends anymore because it's too compulsive about the changes they want to make in their lives, okay? But this is not going to happen to you. Don't worry. You can take some time off and concentrate on whatever you need to change in your life right now, or whatever project you need to bring to fruition, to manifest its first steps. And then you can go back to your friends, okay? So this is the message I have for you, and it's related to the card you've chosen, because you need to pay attention to where your actions are coming from. If they are coming from the better version of yourself, understanding that you're totally capable of inserting new activities in your life, starting new projects, and it doesn't mean you're going to become antisocial. It just means that you need some time. It just means that you need some time for yourself and for your project, okay? So this was option number 1. I hope it was helpful. And now we're moving on to option number 2 with this card here, okay? The Plough, okay? So the Plough talks about a moment in life when we're working a lot and not necessarily only working with concrete things, okay? I mean, you could be working internal beliefs, you could be working in order to manifest something. And I already have the card here, this card here that just fell as I was shuffling, talking about new beginnings, new projects. But let's see what these Timeless Flux card is going to tell us. Okay, exactly. This is the Me Seed card, Me-Seed. It means that you're at a moment in time that you're going to experience this next week, that's highly uncomfortable, because you feel like you have all of the potential to implement this new idea, this new project, but you still need to wait. You know that the conditions are not right. You can even see that, there's this rain here, there's a raindrop that's meant for you, for your seed, to help your seed flourish, okay? And you see that the soil has already produced this other plant, so it's healthy soil, it's nurturing soil, but you still need to wait. It's the moment of equilibrium between when you know that you're ready for your idea, and when divine timing actually operates and allows you to bring this idea to the world, okay? So this is the energy for this week, and I know that it can be highly uncomfortable, but with this card here, with the Magician card, okay, the first card in a tarot, I see that you really have everything that it takes, and that something is going to start this week. It's not maybe the whole picture manifestation you were expecting for this project, this initiative, whatever, but something really important is going to start this week, because as you were already intuitively recognizing, you are ready. You have everything it takes. You have the tools you need. You have all it takes to really start this new project. It could even be a relationship, okay, you guys, but any idea, any project you want to implement in your life, because the energy is fire energy. It's an action related energy, okay? And I want 3 cards more to talk about the situation. So I have the 10 of Cups. I have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and I have the Hermit. Okay, so this week is going to be about patience for you, because this new project, endeavor, whatever, is actually starting, but you still feel like a seed of everything that could be. You still feel like you haven't found your most nurturing soil in this metaphor, and something is going to start, like a small indication that you are actually on the right track, okay? But you need to be careful not to become too anxious about it, because it's not going to manifest. It's not going to be a full-blown manifestation the way you were expecting it to be this week, okay? So you really need to look around and see everything that you have going on for you, everything that's positive in your life, and take advantage of any extra time you have to just recognize how much you can play, how playful you can be, how happy you could be about things that are already going on in your life. Because I see you here, it's probably, if you've chosen this option, you probably have a family, or probably you're in a relationship, and it's kind of stable. But this is not your focus this week. You want your project, maybe a work project, study project, maybe a change you want to do in your life. It could be even a personal project, like losing weight, like changing the way you dress, changing the way you anything. But you're more focused on this project than on whatever good you have already achieved. You need to be careful not to enter that mentality of, okay, check, I've checked a happy family, or maybe a soul family, my friends, I've checked this out of my list, so now I have to move on to the next goal, the next objective, without considering what I already have, okay? And I see that this is a lesson for you. That's why things are not moving faster. That's not, things are moving at the pace you wanted them to. There's a lesson there of trying to recognize how much fulfillment you're actually having, or allowing yourself to have, better saying, whenever you undertake a new project, okay? So this is about stopping for a while. You are actually going to see progress in this project this week, okay? I'm not saying that nothing is going to change, but it's about being a little bit more patient and regrouping a little, because results are not exactly what you expected, and recognizing that even if they are not what you expected, they are still there. The results are still there, because you need to learn how to enjoy everything that you're doing. You cannot only be listing things to do one after the other without actually considering your well-being while doing all these things, okay? I see that you have a lot to be grateful for, and I'm not saying that you're an ungrateful person. I really don't feel this vibe here. What I feel here is a bit of that whatever you want to manifest right now, and I think that for most of you this is related to work and studies, but that whatever you need to manifest right now, you want to manifest right now, is not short-term project. It's a long-term project, a long-term investment. But it's very uncomfortable for you to be in this situation in which you have so much energy, and you have what it takes, but you still have to wait. So you're trying to compensate that in a way by overthinking some things, and being overly anxious, okay? Could even be doing more than you actually need to be doing, because for most of you here, I see that, okay, once you've done the basics to guarantee that this project's going to move on accordingly, then you should just relax. And this is becoming a situation in which, for some of you, you have difficulties understanding what you already have going on for you in life. That's very positive, and that is very rewarding, okay? And that's also a fruit of your labor, okay? So it's about not overspeeding. And I see that this is going to be a week in which you need to reflect about your life, about different values out of this project. Okay, this is a very important moment. I cannot stress it enough, because there's a lesson for you there. The lesson is everything that you do is worth your while only when you're able to enjoy it. Okay, so you really need to learn how to enjoy whatever you're producing. And this could be kind of a this could be, if you're too anxious about it all, it could be hard to hear. But during this week, just know that whatever you accomplish in this project is good. It's actually very good. It's not going to be everything that you've expected, but it's actually the beginning, because in the future I see lots of success for you. Sorry. So while you're waiting, take some time this week to enjoy whatever you've already gotten, and also to see if there are other areas in your life that you've been ignoring, that have been overshadowed somehow by this project that you're so anxious about. Okay, this is what I have for you, option 2. I hope this has helped. And now I'm moving on to option number 3. With this card here, the path. Okay, so with this suit here from the Timeless Flux Oracle, what I see is that this week you're doing something that's very definite, that's very important in your path, in your spiritual path. Okay, it's not just something that you mean to get, it's not just something that's going to bring you material comfort, but it's something that's totally intertwined with your destiny, with whatever you came here to do in this world. And this specific card is talking about your capacity to celebrate. Okay, because I see that you're coming to the end of a cycle, and whenever we come to the end of a cycle, it's very normal that we just want to move on to the next cycle. Okay, the next project, the next idea, the next adventure in general. But if we don't take some time to celebrate whatever we've accomplished so far, it's very difficult to have the energy to move next projects out of the first impulse and actually being able to give them permanence. Okay, it's like, if you don't stop for a while to just recognize how much effort you've put into something and how hard it was for you to reach this point you're at right now, closing a cycle, it's almost impossible for us to just, I'm going to take a long breath here and move on, because it's not, I don't feel like you're tired, but you're more in need of actually giving yourself time to enjoy the closing of this cycle. Okay, otherwise you're at the risk of not closing the cycle properly, and on the other hand, you're at risk of starting something that's not really coming from this new version of yourself with whatever you've learned in the last cycle. You need some time to integrate lessons and to celebrate. Okay, so let me get 4 more cards here to talk a little bit more about what this end of cycle represents for you. Okay, interesting, because I already had the Hermit card and the Queen of Pentacles for option 2, but they're coming here in a completely different position and perspective. Oh, just a moment, because one of the cards fell on the floor. Oh, and okay, I'm going to simply have to take more cards for you, because it seems to be a more complex situation. Okay, so I'm going to move them like this so that you can see the beginning of the reading, and then I'm going to work with this other 2 cards here. Okay, so I see here that you've been working a lot, and you're quite sure about what your next step is going to be, at least in a sense of a general area. So maybe you don't know about the details for this next project, this next moment in your life, but you have already acquired a certain level of of understanding on the areas that are your strong suits. So you're coming this week to a place in which you realize that you have already learned a lot and you're no longer in the same stage where you were before, okay? But there's a glitch though, and it's a positive thing. You're going to see it at the end. Bear with me for a while. Because of whatever you've been doing, and because of the way you've undertaken things so far in your life, you may have had difficulty considering how the comforts in life in general, okay? Whatever you think is luxurious, okay? So it's like you've been investing on your personal growth and on the growth of your talents, on the development of your talents in a given area for some time now. You're closing a cycle, and because you had to put so much energy on concrete things, on your everyday actions in order to learn this new how to be a different person in this new area, maybe a different job, a different position, you're just starting to realize that for a long time now you haven't considered your own comfort. And I'm not only talking about basic comforts in life like food and drink, okay? I'm talking about clothing, for example. I'm talking about more luxurious things, okay? You're starting to consider, okay, maybe I have the money, or I could at least plan myself better and save in order to have money for whatever I consider to be luxurious, okay? You've overlooked this for some time, and it's totally understandable because you were putting all of your energy in creating this new project, this new life position, this in understanding this new area that you were studying, okay? So now you're reflecting about it, and maybe you're looking back and you're thinking like, I shouldn't have started this project, or I shouldn't have given so much to this area, okay? Represented by this page of cups over here, okay? So everything that you've done creative in the past and that has taught you so much, that has led you to so much understanding and to actually getting in a different position in life. You're no longer the person you used to be. Everything that you've done in this sense, you're kind of, regretful sometimes about it because you think, I should have done it in a different way. I gave too much of myself and now my life is too simple and I've spent a lot of time just, focusing my energy on whatever I wanted to manifest and not spending enough energy on myself, okay? This is also totally understandable, but what they're suggesting here is that this week it would be best if you celebrated instead of entering this resentful zone, because whenever you enter this resentful zone, and then I have just 2 extra cards here, you start considering that maybe you should just cut your losses and and give up on the whole thing altogether, and even the fruits of your labor. So consider this: it's like you've sorry. You've worked for such a long time in order to get to this point in which you're actually closing a cycle, and your work has bore fruit, and you have a lot to show for all of your effort. And now, instead of celebrating and then moving on to the next adventure, are you really going to enter an energy of it was not worth my time because I'm tired, or maybe I've overlooked my self-care in the sense of things I like to do in life, and I had to invest a lot of money, I had to invest a lot of time, and I don't even remember how to make myself comfortable, how to make myself happy, how to have luxury in my life? I don't think this is the right focus, and I think this is kind of what the cards are trying to say here. Focus on whatever you've learned. Now you'll be able to have all luxury you want in your life. If you don't have the money right now, the money will show up because you're going to organize, you're going to save for yourself, and this is totally possible. This is totally the direction you're moving forward into. You just need to be careful this week not to enter this energy of resenting feeling the pains of learning, in a sense. Instead, close this cycle by celebrating everything that you've learned. Because what I see here is that if you enter this energy, you're going to see that now at this different stage, in the area, in the enterprise you were dedicated to, you are going to be able to get even deeper in your knowledge. But first, you need to celebrate. This card here, the Eight of Pentacles, talks about someone who's not only doing repetitive actions every day, but mainly and mostly trying to make each product they dedicate to a unique project with their touch, with their mark upon whatever they're doing. Okay, so you can even take a look at the image because it's very expressive. So this person is not only making a lot of similar things, similar items, she's producing, and each item has its own, life, it has its own trademark in itself. So what they're saying with this card here is that you should not forget how much it cost you to arrive here, but be careful not to be bitter about it, because now with everything that you've gotten, you can actually take this job, this occupation, these studies to the next level and become less of an apprentice and more of an artisan, okay, of an artist of this craft that you've been dedicating to, okay? So I really feel like this is related to work, and I really feel that at our studies, but this could also be related to a relationship, of course. So it's like, it doesn't matter if it's work, if it's a relationship, whatever it is, it's something you've dedicated a lot to, and now you're coming full circle, and you really need to take some time to celebrate in order to understand how to be an even better version of yourself from now on when dedicating to this activity or this relationship, okay? So this is what I have for you, and I hope you have enjoyed. If you liked it, please do not forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It helps the channel a lot, and I hope you've enjoyed this reading as much as I have enjoyed reading. Bye bye, and have a wonderful week.